Welcome to my 12-week pregnancy update, and this week I got another scan. Hi guys, and welcome back. So today is my 12-week pregnancy update. I feel like this is always an amazing week to reach in pregnancy because it's kind of, in my mind, it's kind of this week that everything seems a bit more settled, a bit less risky, and just a bit better overall. This is the week that I told my family, and well, my close family already knew from the previous scan, but the rest of my family, and it's not a secret anymore, and friends already know now. So very exciting this week to have reached 12 weeks. It's really exciting. I'm going to start off first of all talking about my statistics for this week. So my waist this week is measuring at 91 centimeters, so that's quite a bit more than the last few weeks that I've been telling you. So my stomach seems to have grown quite a lot this week, and I was looking back at my pregnancy diary from my first pregnancy with Samuel, and around this week I was 92 centimeters last time, so pretty much around the same kind of like width around my stomach. I know with a lot of second babies, people say that their stomach grows a lot faster, but for me personally, I found that my stomach has just grown the same amount so far. I'm not showing a lot more than I was my first pregnancy, which I thought I kind of expected actually to be a bit bigger by this time, because people say after having one baby, you get bigger faster, but I don't know if I'm just lucky or if it's just genetics or whatever, but I went down quite fast to my original weight after having Samuel, and yeah, I basically started off at the exact same weight as I did with my first pregnancy, and I've grown the same amount as well. So it'll be interesting to see if I have more pregnancies, to see if they are the same as this and if I grow the same amount. But so far, I am definitely growing the same amount as my first pregnancy. My symptoms are also what I expected for this week, and I'm so happy to say, and maybe you are out there relieved to hear, that my symptoms of nausea are definitely getting less now. And that's what I hoped and expected, and that's what I experienced my first pregnancy. So if you are not quite 12 weeks yet and you're like, when is this nausea going to end? For me, it's starting to go down around this time, so around 12 weeks. My nausea is starting to kind of recede. I'm still puking in the morning sometimes, but not every morning, and it's not quite as bad, and my smell sensitivity doesn't seem to be quite as bad either. So I'm really happy about that. Another symptom change I've had is my motivation to do things has gone exponentially up like that. I was so unmotivated for like last 2 months to do anything, and it's quite good actually, because now I actually have quite a few things I need to do, and we've just started to do certain things in my life. Like I've started to help run a children's club online, and that kind of thing requires a motivation from me. So I'm glad my motivation has started to go up a lot. My energy, which is different from my motivation, has gone up slightly, but even just sitting before filming this video, I was like feeling very tired. So I'm definitely still feeling tired, still feeling pregnancy fatigue, but it's not the worst symptom in the world to have, and I'm still able to kind of overcome it, and I'm still able to get stuff done. I just notice that I feel a lot more tired while I'm doing stuff or after I do stuff. So my motivation is much higher, my energy is still a bit low, but because my motivation is so high, I can kind of push through that, and that's been really good this week. So I'm hoping the next few weeks I'm going to be able to say that my nausea completely disappears. That's what I'm hoping for, because that's the thing that for me has been the hardest, is the nausea. Great, there is noise. Someone's cutting a hedge or cutting grass, and I'm sure you can hear it, and it's going to drive me mental. Okay, moving on. I apologise if you could hear the background, someone cutting their grass or cutting their hedge or something. I wonder if I can shut the window actually. Wait, I'm going to shut the window. Okay, I've shut the window and I've shut a door, and it might be slightly better. I don't know, I can still hear it just as much. But we're just going to kick on through. We're going to press on through and just talk about the baby now. So the baby is getting so big. This is why I always find it strange that my belly is not quite as big as I would have thought, because when you look at the size of the baby, so the baby this week is the size of a little chick, which is so cute, or a kiwi. So I guess around this size, and for me that's pretty big. So I always feel like I should have a bigger bump than I do, but I don't. So the baby is the size of a chick or a kiwi, and it also says a cupcake, but that's a bit subjective because cupcakes can be many different sizes. And then on my little Pregnancy Plus app, which I use, it says that the baby has the ability to open and close its fists now and to make sucking movements, which is adorable. All the organs are developing into their final shapes, so the stomach, the liver, pancreas, etc. And the baby's lungs is practicing breathing with amniotic fluid, which is quite interesting. So I'll show you what the baby looks like on this app. This is a great app if you haven't, I've talked about it quite a bit, but this is my favourite app at the moment. It's called Pregnancy Plus. And if you press this little bit here, it shows you the actual size of the baby. So that's the actual size of the baby. That's a big old baby. So cute, I love it. And you can spin it around and look at it like that as well. There's also a little bit on this app that you can look at what the baby would look like on a scan photo. So if you haven't had a scan recently, you can see what your baby would look like now. I think this is actually possibly a twin pregnancy, but you can look at it in this kind of version, which you would normally see, or you can look at it in like the 3D scan version, which is kind of funny. I've never had a 3D scan before, but that's kind of, you can look at it like that. So it's quite nice. It's quite, like, I like this app. It's quite factual and quite interesting. So that's what the baby kind of looks like around now, but I'm going to show you my specific baby because we got a scan. So I'm going to talk about my scan a little bit now. So basically, just in case you're watching this in the future, at the time that I got my scan in the UK and Scotland, we have come out of lockdown. We were in lockdown because of the coronavirus pandemic. We've come out of lockdown and we're starting to go back to normal, but things are not 100% back to normal. So a lot of my visits have been on the phone, but of course you can't do a scan on the phone. So I can go in for my scan. But a lot of times before, you weren't allowed to have your partner come in. But I specifically asked at my last phone appointment with my midwife, and she said that partners are allowed to come into scans now. So I took my husband along with me to the scan, and part of me was like not sure if you were still allowed it or not, but I took him along anyway. And when we got there, I had a big sign on the door saying partners have to wait outside in the hallway. So Philip waited in the hallway outside. Then I went in through to like the reception area and signed myself in. There's like screens and stuff everywhere. And then sat down in the seats. So there's a little selection of seats, obviously socially distanced apart from each other. And I sat there and waited. And what I realised this time, I noticed this time much more than last time, is that it was very, very busy. Now I was in a different hospital this time because we have moved house. But this hospital was very, very, very busy. Like very busy, and there seemed to be people getting called in and out all the time to the scans, and I do not remember that for my first baby. So I remembered that, and then I got called, so I had to wear my mask as well, I forgot to say. And then I got called, my name got called, and I had to go and get Philip to come in, and then we both went in together to the scan room where the sonographer was. So, and then we just had a normal scan, and it was really, really nice. I lay down, and they put the jelly on me, etc. as usual, and yeah, we got to see our little baby, and the baby is completely 100% healthy, completely fine. I was so relieved about it. The scan was longer than I remember as well. It was about 15-20 minutes long. We got to look at our little baby on that screen while they took all the measurements, and it was so nice and so lovely, and I'm so happy that Philip was able to come in as well. And the only thing that I noticed different again about this scan than my last scan with Samuel is that they had, in this hospital anyway, they had a separate screen for you to look at the baby. So my first scan with Samuel, the lady, I was like lying here, let's pretend this is me lying here on the bed, and the lady was like right here to my right, and she had a screen like this that I couldn't see, and then she would look at all the measurements and stuff, and then she turned the screen round so that I could see it. But obviously you can't see very, very well, whereas this time she was there still, and they had a screen up right in front of me, on the wall opposite, a big screen where you could see everything that she could see on her screen. And I thought that was much better. I liked that a lot more. I'll show you my scan now. I got quite a few different pictures. I'll just show you my scan first before I talk a bit more about that. Jordish's little baby. So cute. Baby plump number 2. I'll zoom in just on one. This little head, little leg. Oh, you can see the little heartbeat. Everything was completely fine, she said. And yeah, these are so precious to every parent, I think, that's gonna have their baby. it's very precious to people. And just on that note, I saw in my Facebook groups that a lot of people were saying that they had to pay to get their scan photos. People in the UK, I know in other countries it's different, but in the UK some people had to pay to get scan photos, like £5 for a single one of these photos. And I thought that was ridiculous. Of all the things to spend your taxpayers' money on, one of the best things in my opinion can be to give pregnant women their scan photos for free, because there's a very little else that a pregnant woman values more than these photos. These are so special. Sorry, I look at mine every single day, and yeah, it's just a nice reassuring reminder, and there's very little better, in my opinion, you can spend money on than that for a pregnant lady. So for people to be charging for it, I think is just ridiculous, especially because I don't think it cost them very much to print these, and I got tons of photos. So I got all these photos. So how many is that? That's 4 photos. And then I got this, another 4 photos. That one's one of the little baby's hand. It's so nice. And then I got this one as well, another 3 photos. So I got 11 photos in total, and yeah, I'm so happy that I got them. And I just think it's so sad if people have to pay for a single one of those photos because of just how precious they are to people. So anyway, I'm very happy to have all these scanned photos. Very lucky, and so happy that the baby was fine. Let me just see if I've got to say anything else. Oh, one thing she did say was, towards the end of the scan, she said she wasn't sure about something. She was looking at the lining of my womb, it had like a gap. You could see like a gap. And she was like, she didn't know if that was a hematoma, that's what she said. And she got the lead sonographer in to look at it and see if there was any kind of issues. She said, she reassured me a lot, which I'm happy about, that it was nothing to do with the baby. It was potentially something to do with me, which I don't mind about as much. But she was really great, my sonographer, just reassuring me that everything was completely fine with the baby, and that this little thing she was looking at wasn't to do with the baby. So I was happy about that. And then when the lead sonographer came in and she looked at it, they kind of decided that it was a normal variant, is what they called it. So it kind of sounds like a contradiction, but essentially it's just a change, a slight difference that people might have. Apparently is nothing to be concerned about, essentially. So that's the only thing that I had that they kind of looked at twice, but yeah, everything else was fine. So that's my 12-week pregnancy update. If you guys are pregnant, leave down below what your symptoms are just now, because I'd be really interested to hear and interact with you guys in the comments. And I'll link some videos here so you can go check them out. I've got lots of other pregnancy videos on my channel, and I'll see you very soon in my next one. Bye guys.